We have a gender dynamic issue in this country. It's a cultural issue that's way more important, way more foundational of an issue than politics and who's going to run for president or even local politics. That's how important it is. It's separate from politics. It's separate from the law. People confuse and conflate these things. What I'm going to talk about in this whole live has nothing to do with politics, has nothing to do with the law. It's everything else, culture. And this is Serena Williams, and she's the latest Serena and Venus. I don't even know who the little short one is. Is she some gymnast or something? I don't know. I don't even know what she is. But Serena and Venus, they're the latest in the long line of how often have I said, oh, I used to like them back in the day. And Serena and Venus grew up. I played tennis. Haven't talked about it in a while, but I grew up playing tennis. And Serena and Venus came out of Compton. Their dad, Richard Williams, take it even away from tennis, black excellence. We talk about white excellence and cultural excellence, whatever group you want to be in. I mean, you could apply it to the Tesla community. I've kind of been out of the Tesla community and then jumping back in, and I'm like, what happened to the excellence? What's going on? It's a mess right now because of the politics. But you can apply that to any group that you want to apply to, men, women, whatever. And they used to exude what I would call black excellence through their father, Richard Williams. How did they rise up? They weren't victims, practiced their ass off, had talent, but didn't care what anybody said and bucked the system. And they even allowed women to come up and be so popular that the women's tennis, when I grew up in the 90s, 2000s, was better than the men's. It was more exciting, more drama, better to watch, more fun, more entertaining to watch, longer rallies. And they were a big part of that. They got, I believe it's still there, where the women in the majors get the same amount of money as the men, I believe. And they earned it because I went in to watch the women play. And now we see this where it comes full circle. She's retired. And now what is she going to do? She's more, when you retire, you're just more of you're like a statue. You're like a statue, but you're a living statue of what you were. So what is she going to do for money, for fame? She's hosting the ESPYs. Who runs the ESPYs? Disney. Who writes for them? The leftists. So now she's in this world where this should be unacceptable. Colin Rugg, many others reporting, Serena Williams calls out Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker. They're still talking about the Butker speech at the ESPYs for his recent pro-Catholic speech. The moment came after her older sister, Venus, told people to enjoy women's sports. This is a very interesting joke. To me, it sounded like it was written in there. I didn't see the clip before this. I do have to go back and watch this because Serena was laughing to start this 17-second clip. I don't know if it was a joke before that or what, or if she was waiting for this joke. I don't know. This is an odd thing to say after you say enjoy women's sports. Enjoy women's sports. So go ahead and enjoy women's sports like you would any other sports because they are sports. Yeah, you know, that thing that we use to get away from politics, entertainment. And then Serena comes in, except you, Harrison Butker, we don't need you. Was that supposed to be a ha-ha joke?
So go ahead and enjoy women's sports like you would any other sports because they are sports. Yes.
Except you, Harrison Butker, we don't need you.
What?
At all, like ever. So go ahead and enjoy women's sports like you would.
This was worse than, I don't know if it was the Emmys or whatever award where it was, who's the cute pudgy, I can't remember, I lost her name. I think she's cute. People flame me for that. Gosh, I feel real bad. I forget the chubby one at the awards that was like gay, where they're talking about the Florida parental rights bill. Somebody give me the name. I'm pissed off. I don't remember her name. She was like, gay, say gay. And then they all say gay, like Wanda Sykes, I think, was on there. It was really cringe. This was worse than that. I don't even know what this is.
Except you, Harrison Butker, we don't need you.
So the leftists do this weird thing where when they do something that they know is cringe or just off topic or without basis, it's not funny, so they can't laugh. They clap louder. They try to. It's almost like Joe Biden when he makes a mistake. When he makes a gaffe, he tries to make up for it like right after the gaffe, like he does a stupid joke or something like that, which I understand, but it's the same type of thing. So no, this is stupid, and it's not based on anything in reality about Harrison Butker. So they laugh at first because not because it's funny, because it's like it's a little awkward, and then they start. It's not funny, so no one's laughing, and they don't want the dead air. So then they go, whoa, and then they start doing this fake cheer.
Sports because they are sports.
Yes. Except you, Harrison Butker. We don't need you.
You see that? The laugh was like, because they didn't expect it. It wasn't really like a ha-ha laugh. It was like a, what is going on laugh? It's like an awkward laugh where somebody says something funny in the conversation. You're like, and then they start clapping because they're like, oh, this is awkward.
Butker, we don't need you.
Do you think any men were doing that? Somebody be honest with me. At this moment, do you think any men, I don't care what side of the political spectrum the men, do you think any men were involved in this cheering here, this part here?
I don't need you.
No, that's women screeching and clapping.
At all, like ever.
Ugh, that was, so I don't know if that was scripted or not, but this little one had to get in on it too. Venus is just awkwardly standing there like, eh. By the way, what is Venus wearing? She's wearing like is it lingerie, or it almost looks like a one-piece bathing suit with a suit. Is she wearing pants? That is a weird outfit. She's too old to be looking like that. I guess it could look cute at like a Playboy mansion or something like that. I don't know what she's wearing. I hope she's wearing like nude colored pants. I hope she's not. I hope that's not what it looks like, because it makes it look like she's wearing a dress or a skirt or something, but it's slit. Ugh. Serena looks like she just came out of Black Panther or something, Wakanda. So she actually looks good. I don't know. This doesn't look that good to me.
So go ahead and enjoy women's sports like you would any other sports.
Enjoy women's sports. It's no different, like you would any other sport. I believe before this, she made the joke about white people liking Caitlin Clark. I think that would have been a fine joke if there was some trust there, but to me, coming from her, it's just not good.
So go ahead and enjoy women's sports.
Oh, good. Yeah, everybody's enjoying women's sports. There's women on, they're all black, but I'm not even going with the black women on this one. This is women in general.
Would any other sports because they are sports.
Yes. Except you.
It didn't take half a second for that moment to end. Enjoy sports. Like, remember back in the day in the 80s and the 90s, and we just talked sports and it wasn't political. Just go enjoy sports. It didn't take her 0.2 of a second to get out the other line. I thought we were going to enjoy sports.
It's like you would any other sports because they are sports.
Yes. Except you, Harrison Butker. We don't need you.
See, what needs to happen here is men have to be men. And there's a time and place for everything and anything. At this moment, we have to say, bitch, shut up. That's what men need to say at this point. There is no credible society that has ever existed that I'm aware of. You tell me one. What, maybe the Amazon or something like that, where they're all like Wonder Woman lesbians or something. But that obviously isn't pertinent here. There's no healthy society, none, that's ever existed, where you would have a woman going up on a stage sponsored by big corporation Disney. And obviously Disney's in bed with the government. That's what the whole don't say gay thing was, going against DeSantis and that whole battle. Disney's like a part of the administrative state. So she gets up on a Disney platform and disses Harrison Butker. What does Harrison Butker didn't say anything mean or anything that would be like, oh, I've got to reply with hate. He had nothing but love and really respect in his speech. If you disagree, you disagree. But there's no reason to go at him as hateful. None. There's no logical reason for it. There's no tangible reason for it. So she does that. She's using him as an attack on Christians and Catholics on the stage. And he doesn't get a chance to respond if he wanted to. So he's in the audience, to my knowledge. How cowardly is that? You have a society where 3 women get up on the stage and misinterpret purposely somebody's comments and their position, a man's position. And there's no retort. There's no, wait a second, what's going on here? By the men in the audience. I don't care if you're on left, right. I don't care what your religion is. Whoa, 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 whoa. Culturally, we're off the rails at this point. It's time people talk about this. And I first saw this from Officer Tatum. And this is an Officer Tatum hat. I'm an Officer Tatum supporter. But he is a part of that large influencing world. Tim Pool, Officer Tatum, Crowder, Tucker. They bring up issues, but they don't bring up solutions. And respectfully to Officer Tatum, I got this from Officer Tatum. I'm tired of the topics being brought up and there's no solutions. Basically, the solution that they provide is vote. Are you crazy? You think voting solves a cultural problem like this? If voting were to solve a cultural problem like this, where's Donald Trump now? Where's Donald Trump? Maybe he will say something about it. I don't know. To my knowledge, he has not at this point. I wouldn't expect it. He's not. This isn't 2016 Donald Trump. And even that wouldn't fix anything. But it would be more towards it would be evidence towards your position that voting might change or shift something in even a little way. So Brandon Tatum is where I first saw it. And he says, imagine getting attacked for having your own religious beliefs. That's what happened. Misconstrued too. Why is this tolerated in our society, but every other form of hate gets people canceled instantly? What's the answer, officer? I need to get deeper level. That's why I talk with Iggy Ignoramus often, and we often talk about Tim Pool. And when we're talking about these people, it's not like some female catty way. It's like analyzing who has power in the sphere of where we're at and what they're doing with it. And I'm a big Tim Pool fan, but Iggy's absolutely right where he's like, I can't watch the show because they're all surface level. Like, they just talk about this stuff and there's no like resolution. There's like no dig deeping on it. And he's absolutely right. That's not the show to go to. You're going to have to go to Iggy's show. That's why you got to go to Call Me Ignorant. You got to go to Nick Fuentes. You got to go to Elijah Schaffer. All the people that pretty much get banned. You got to go to Stu Peters. No matter what you think about him, he gets beneath the surface. So Officer Tater, I need you to dig deeper. Why they don't dig deeper? Because it gets real uncomfortable real quickly. Men aren't men right now. That's the problem. There is no reason that men should be culturally allowing this. I'm not talking about legally. I'm talking about peacefully. I'm talking about with information. Men should be like, hell no. This is not even acceptable. Never want to see this again. I got no problem with you playing sports, but once you start getting into these complex issues that you know nothing about, it's time for you to go in the kitchen. Maybe Josie will teach you how to make a pie. Get out of the conversation. This is a waste of my time. It needs to be that. This issue needs to be dealt with head on, just like the blacks. I am tired of walking around it. I am not walking around this issue. If women cannot show me that they can have these conversations in a logical way, then they don't need to be a part of the conversation. And that's culturally need to be booted up out of the conversation. Shut up. Literally, shut up with this nonsense. And then they kind of disguise it like, oh, is it a joke or not? That's even worse. So you have a room. This is sports. This is sports. They're doing this at a sports award show. Could you imagine they got the Gladiator Part 2 coming out. Could you imagine taking the gladiators from back in the day and they say, oh, what's your gladiators now? Your UFC. They don't allow this shit in the UFC. I tell you that much. I give them credit for that. This shit wouldn't fly in the UFC. We know that. That's the real gladiator sports. But, in the other than UFC, they're an arena. Football. That's a man's game. Football. Could you imagine them coming and looking like, what the hell? In your award show? This is what's happening? What? He would the whole society is gay. That's what the first thing they would say. I mean, they had gay people back then. It's not a new concept to them. But not they're gay in a very feminine way. What society is this? Where do we allow this? What about the Catholic Church? Who's a Catholic in here? What is the purpose of the Catholic Church raises $1 billion in the U.S. alone. I'm not a Catholic expert. The first thing I think of when I think of Catholicism is the bloat of the bureaucracy. It's basically its own government. What is the point of this $1 billion plus industry if all the money is used for is violating little boys and they have no retort when a Disney corporation does a joke that basically is done to diss the whole religion? Even Whoopi Goldberg was like, Harrison Butker didn't do anything wrong. You can disagree. Even Whoopi said that. That's how obvious it was. The Catholic Church has no response to this? Why are you a Catholic? What is the point of it? The whole point is the whole infrastructure, the power. You ever think they would do this to a Jewish? If a Jewish person got up and spoke whatever in Judaism, we've never seen it. Why? I have never seen criticism of a Jewish person in the same way. Harrison Butker was speaking, to my knowledge, to Catholics. It was a Catholic organization, private Catholic organization, to my knowledge. Talking about his beliefs, not dissing anybody else. Show me the closest example you can find of a similar situation where somebody gets on the stage and disses a Jewish person for a Jewish belief, talking to Jewish people, and they didn't talk about any violence, nothing even authoritarian. Show me the closest example that you've ever seen it on any type of stage like this. And the Catholic Church has billions of dollars and supposedly power, and the Pope and the president is allegedly Catholic. Where is the Catholic Church? This is an embarrassment. Why are you a Catholic? For what? What do I need all this bureaucracy for to read the Bible? Are you crazy? Of course you need people to run your ideas off of. I don't need the Catholic Church for that. It serves no purpose. The Catholic Church should be putting resources into. Don't you ever do that again. This is what we believe. We will end you informationally, peacefully. We will peacefully annihilate you if you continue to misconstrue the positions. That speech that Harrison Butker wrote was beautiful. I analyzed that thing. I listened to it multiple times, put it in ChatGPT. I was like, the thing was, I don't know who wrote that. Did he write that? That thing was beautifully written. It was flawless. We got to start talking about the real problems. And the real problems when a society starts falling like this is the men. So I like Pearl, Just Pearly thing. She's great. She's really accessible. I've even chatted with her a couple times. She'll chat with anybody. She puts the blame on women, though. And that's just her algorithmic thing. You have to have a niche. That's not accurate. And I think off the record, she would agree. If a society falls like we are falling, with a decrepit old man as the leader, there is no one. There's no one to look at, to blame, other than men. Men let that happen. That's weakness. It's unacceptable. And it has to be women in general. I got feedback and people will say, and I understand where you're coming from. No, it's leftist women. How do you define that? What do you mean it's leftist women? Is Ashley St. Clair a leftist or a right? Is Candace Owens left or right? Is Cassandra McDonald left or right? Well, I guess she's probably right now. I'll just play. I'm a big supporter of hers. My point is, you can't parse it out. What's the definition? How do you parse that out? In one issue, I might support UBI. In the other issue, you can't parse out left or right. This is women. This is a gender hierarchy discussion. Under no circumstances should this ever happen in a country. This wouldn't happen in Russia. This wouldn't happen in China. I guarantee you that. It's happening here because of toxic tolerance from Christians, from Catholics, from men. This isn't to say women aren't capable. Of course, that's what they would twist it into. Of course, if you're going to twist Harrison Butker, you're going to twist anything that criticizes you. That's why I think you need to go make a sandwich and get off the stage. That's why. Not because you're not capable, not because you're not the greatest tennis player ever, not because I don't respect your hustle and grind back when you didn't fall into this fascistic ideology that you have to in order to keep getting paper. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, don't ever get up on a stage and do that cowardly act where somebody can't respond. If some white leftist wrote that for you, you need to tell the white leftist, cut it out. That ain't in the speech. If you disagree. If you agree, you own that. Either way, you own it. You said it. I don't think she's intelligent enough. Not intelligent. I don't think she's in tuned enough with what's happening to even make that joke. And the Harrison Butker thing happened a while. That doesn't seem natural to me. It didn't seem like a natural Serena. Remember Serena back in the days openly said, well, of course, I can't. They said, could you go up against Andy Murray? I think it was Andy Murray who was good at the time. And if you don't play tennis, you don't know. These guys like Andy Murray and Pete Sampras, they're like 6'4", 6'6". If you go on a tennis court and the other guy on the other side, a grass court even, and the other guy 6'6", and he's serving, not only can you not return the serve, you're scared you're going to die because it's coming at you like a bullet. That's how fast it is. It is unbelievable if you've never been on a court with a professional or a good tennis player serving. My wife was asking me about that. My wife asked me about it. Tennis, like, does the height matter? I was like, oh, in Wimbledon especially. That serve is coming in, topspin so fast. I mean, you literally just got to move to get out the way of it before that thing hits you in the chest or the head, much less be at the net when they're hitting hard. So Serena's like, so people asked her, can the women, because you're so good, Serena, can you beat like one of the lower, like the men ranked 100? And Serena was like, are you crazy? I would have no chance. They would beat me 0-0. That was her when she was authentic. That was her when she was honest. That was her before the fascism got so fascistic. And now she's on some bitch shit. Get off the stage, Serena. Don't want to hear from you anymore. That's my rant. What's going on? Nuns. Whoa, I don't even know. Maybe I need to look into the Catholic Church. Candace Owens explained to me. I believe she just came back to the Catholic Church, and I would have to do research. Why? Why can't you? Why do you even need a denomination? I don't need these people in between me and my faith. I don't even know you like that. I need people I trust. That's why I go to friend of the show, Carlos, Patriots of the American Republic. Go to Ray Studios. Go to Iggy. Go to Jeremy, might be wrong. Go to Let's Be Frank. These are people I've already got some connection with. Everybody. I mean, there's so many people that you can go to within your own circle and run the ideas off. I think that's important. But it's fine if you want to go to church. I'm not saying that don't do that, but I don't need that. So I'm confused by it. Mike has needs says Serena has plenty of. Is it any recent though, Mike? Yeah, I agree. She's had plenty. She's never been like this. This is weird. That's not like her. This is not a typical Serena take. That's not how they were raised. They weren't raised like, they were raised to be this pro-black, but they were raised in that era where it was black excellence. It wasn't black nonsense. So they took her black ass on that stage and used her as a weapon. She got used as a weapon for Disney. She got used as a weapon for our president, who's a fake Catholic. He's Jewish effectively. Everybody in his family is married Jewish. He's basically Jewish. He has his own rabbi. The hell does a Catholic need a rabbi for? Why are you faking like you're Jewish? A pro-abortion Catholic. What the hell does that even mean? Scotty says they're like a ship on the sea with no rudder. Oh, yeah. Mike has bad knees said that was before she married that Reddit dude. Yeah. The Reddit dude doesn't have any religious beliefs he's faithless to my knowledge, at least. He doesn't attach to any religion. I don't even think he's an atheist. I just think he's there. And yeah, it was before that. And Reddit was like the wild, wild west. And then it turned real hard, for lack of a better term, to the left. So she kind of has no chance being in that lane. Scotty said, there's a reason Jesus hung out with sinners and not with people who try if they were super cool. Screwed Up Rebellion, what's up, friend of the show, says, all of the Christian monarchists know the solution. Yeah, that's why I mess with them. That's why I talk with them. They talk solutions. You wonder why, and I think that might be, I don't want to speak for Dr. Carlin Borisenko. She had a great discussion with Iggy. I think that's the vibe I get, is we're kind of like solution-based. Don't have all the solutions, but want to crowdsource and work towards it. The Christian monarchists have the solution. None of these other people have the solution. Name them. They don't even talk about the solution. They act like there is none, other than voting for most of them. Oh yeah, I'm gonna chop that up, Screwed Rebellion. I still have not had a chance to. Maybe I'm gonna get out here and do this interview, and I want to put it on YouTube. Pete, if I pronounce his name right, Quinones. If I have to double check how he pronounced it. I never met him before. Iggy met him at the convention. I forgot what the convention was called. It's outstanding. Look out for that. I will be chopping that up. He was unbelievable. I'm just listening. I'm just in the live like, man, this is good. He talks real talk. Those are the people that I want to associate with. Real talk. And G-Lo said, women don't even watch women's sports. Yeah, why? Yeah. Now, I think part of this is more people are watching the WNBA. I've even watched a couple games just because there is that racial undertone, and there's just more interest. There's more interest there, and the game feels more pure to me when you don't have the dunking. So they're not as fast, not as athletic, but I don't know. The NBA is just not, I don't know. I don't know what happened to me. They keep doing that step back. I hate the step back jumper. They don't really do it like that in the WNBA. I've seen Caitlin Clark do a little something but it's more traditional. The step back jumper for me has kind of ruined the NBA. I just hate the move. Every single time down the court, you're just waiting. It's almost like a video game where they put a move in the video game and you're like, are they going to do it again? It's like, is this fun anymore? It's a glitch. I hate the step back jumper. It's fun. It's fun to like go on the court and be like, and then kind of travel and take 5 steps backwards and shoot a 3. But when you watch that, like every single down, you see even Ant Edwards, I believe his name is, he's really fun to watch on Minnesota. It's like, oh, he's doing the step back again. Like, how many times I'm going to watch a broad do a step back? I don't know, man. I don't like it. I think that they got to take it out of the game. It's ruined the game for me. I don't even enjoy it. 2020, they are playing a role in the system. Their solution is to keep watching and buying merch and feeling superior. Screwed Up Rebellion said, we need an Emperor Constantine. Just no lies. A Christian king would solve it. That's more towards a solution than anybody else. Somebody give me a better solution. See, my solution is secession. Nobody's talking about that. There's no energy behind that. There's way more energy towards staying in the system and we've had enough of this. We're going to go to the Nayib Bukele way and just handle this. I have more respect for that. Nobody wants secession. So why am I going to keep talking about it? For what? Who's the libertarians don't even talk about it. They got Chase Oliver. There's libertarians that I respect supporting this dude, Chase Oliver. I'm like, you're not even in the realm of where I'm at. And then they will ask, well, why do you mess around with the authoritarians? What are you talking about? What are you doing? You're not even doing anything. I have way more respect for the authoritarians. That's why I don't call myself a libertarian. I always kind of like hedge it. I like the libertarians, libertarian-ish. I'm not Jewish. I'm Jew-ish. That's not me. Famously, the fat one, George Santos. Gigi the Backyard Herbalist said, hi from Indiana, real women love real men, masculine men. Women are realizing the sexes need each other and have certain roles in life. Yes, there are exceptions to the rule. Yes, this is not a diss women thing. And thank you for that, Gigi. This is not a diss woman thing. You don't think men need women? We need each other. But at this moment, society's falling apart. And it's not going to be put back together. The path forward to this is not going to be led by a woman, period. As much as I like Candace Owens, as much as I'm kind of falling out with Carrie Lake because she's just so Zio, but Candace Owens is the one right now. I don't know. I still don't know where Kathy Barnett stands. I like her a lot. I want to know what her stance is on the JQ, but Candace Owens is, man, I don't have enough time in the day to absorb all her content. She is just on fire. Just amazing content from Candace Owens. And it means something. And I know there's this thing where it's like I'm putting her up as if she were like a presidential leader, but well, she's an orator. She's very knowledgeable and she's got a following. So why wouldn't you naturally, if she doesn't want to do it, she doesn't want to do it. It's just like Michelle Obama. Even if you don't like Big Mike has all that. Big Mike is very, very good orator. Whether you like Big Mike or not, he's very smart and he's got a following. That's it. I mean, I don't know what else you need to say, well, do you want to lead? I mean, that's why everybody brings him up. I don't know what the right pronoun is for they, them. That's why everybody brings they, them up, even though they, them has never openly expressed that they, them want to run. And that's why I'm bringing up Candace and why I'm bringing up even Kim Iverson. Kim Iverson would look at me like, what, are you crazy? No, Kim Iverson. Jimmy Dore, but he's probably thought about it. But those type of people, they're smart, they're orators, they got a following. I don't know what else you need. What else do you need? You need money, but obviously Candace got money. I mean, Jimmy got money. Obviously they got money. But yeah, it's a two-way thing. And Harrison Butker had that in his speech. He had that in his speech, the importance of women. He was saying it from a point of love. And then he had the masculinity part in it too. He's like, I will actually challenge Harrison Butker. I'm going to go to that real quick. Looking at his speech, I don't think he's lived up to his speech. And that's not a diss to him. It's just a challenge. I love the speech. I've not said one bad thing about the speech. Not literally not one bad thing. But here's the speech here. And there's a part on it where he was talking about masculinity. I want to fast forward to that. Okay. So what does this mean here? He said, to the gentleman here, remember this is a commencement speech, May 11th, I believe. To the gentleman here today, part of what plagues our society is this lie that has been told to you. So he said that there was a lie told to women, and then he also, in the same speech, nobody knows because they didn't listen to the damn speech. In the same speech, he said, there is a lie that has been told to you as well. The lie that you are not necessary in the home or in our communities. As men, we set the tone of the culture. Isn't that exactly what I'm talking about here? And I think Harrison Butker was in the audience. What tone are you setting, sir? And I know you got to get your paycheck, but now you got to make that decision. And not just him, the other men in the audience. When is it time for a man to come up, and he can do it after the show and say, that Serena joke, don't do that again. This is a message to Serena and Disney. Don't ever do that again. And in a much more articulate way, I don't know, he wrote this, so I think he should write the reply. But as men, we set the tone of the culture, and when that is absent, disorder, dysfunction, and chaos sets in. I'm going to pause for a second. I know this is a sidetrack, but this is... the channel's gone to a very, this is going to be bad, not bad, but this can be something because I got to preface it. Channel's gone to a different place. I've been listening to and I've been very interested in finding out for myself, not told from anybody else, what the beliefs of Funny Mustache Man are. And what's the better way to do it than to go directly to the speeches. And let's just say, it has not been, I'm still very baby in my journey, it has not been what I was told it was. Let's just say that. I don't know how you transition back to Harrison Butker on this one, but the reason why I say that is, that was very, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to say about that, I hate this qualification culture. I'm not qualifying anything. One of the things that strikes you about Funny Mustache Man is it's a very masculine presence in culture that he wanted to foster. Fighting against what was brought in was the same feminine stuff that we're seeing here. This absence of men in the home is what plays a large role in the violence we see around the nation. Other countries do not have nearly the same absentee father rates as we find here in the U.S., and a correlation could be made in their drastically lower violence rates as well. Be unapologetic in your masculinity, fighting against the cultural emasculation of men. Do hard things, never settle for what's easy. The easy thing is to let the Serena Williams and all this women stuff at the ESPYs go. That's the easy thing to do. But I respect, what's his name? Will. They used to be on First Take, and he went to Fox News because he was tired of it. He didn't do the easy thing. Now he's still with Fox News, but I respect the move. You might have a talent that you don't necessarily enjoy, but if it glorifies God, maybe you should lean into that over something that you might think suits you better. I speak from experience as an introvert who now finds myself as an amateur public speaker and an entrepreneur. He's great at it, by the way. Something I never thought I'd be when I received my industrial engineering degree. The road ahead is bright. It's one of the great speeches of our time. I'm just going to flat out say that. One of the great speeches of our time. Tucker had a great one. American Carnage, Trump inauguration. That was a shorter one. I played that on the channel. I love that speech. I think Stephen Miller wrote that. And this one here are some of the ones that stand out to me as some of the great speeches of our time. Nick Fuentes is one that got pulled down. The speech that was the Nick Fuentes one that got pulled down, the Christian futurist one, or I think there were two separate ones. I forget if it was two separate ones. But the Christian futurist one, no, I don't think that one got pulled down. That one is one of the great speeches of our time. There's been some really good speeches. Maybe I need to do a sidetrack on that. Immortal Legend, what's up? I see the super chat. Big Mike is a she-it. Okay. Is that just, so we just say shit? Is that just what it is? Joan Rivers is probably rolling over in her grave like, what are you guys doing? You hear the rumors about allegedly blackmail, potentially Biden, the Biden family knows, let's just say, some Larry Sinclairish news about Obama. And that's what's making it hard to push him up out of there, because they might spill the beans or the Frankfurter on those. I don't know what's true or not, but I wouldn't put it past anybody. 2020 says Big Mike's pronouns are the first man. How tough is it to be called the second gentleman? That's a tough one. I said that I think if there is a male spouse, they still should be called the first lady. And I mean that sincerely. If you want that role, that's the role. That's the role. The role is the first lady. We don't need to change it based on your gender. You're a man, you're a biological man, but you're in the role of the first lady. Why are we changing it to the second gentleman? See it. Oh man, I'm out. I just wanted to get that off my chest. Appreciate y'all. Peace.